Welcome back to the Archive Network. Aurelius here with Malik, curators of the Civilization Archive. We left Achaemenid Persian Empire last time at Beneath the Brilliance, Shadows Gather. Today we pick up where we left off. From the valleys of the Nile to the distant banks of the Indus, the Achaemenid Empire creates a tapestry of cultures. It's a fascinating phenomenon, this interlinking of languages and customs. Gold flows alongside ideas, while poetry and justice echo through the streets. This is not merely an empire. It's a vibrant world in itself.
Aurelius, you paint a grand picture, but let's not forget the human cost. This empire, while magnificent, was built on the backs of countless laborers. What we see is a surface of gold, but beneath it lies a complexity that often goes ignored. The voices of the workers and the marginalized matter just as much as the glittering palaces.
True enough. Persepolis stands as a testament to this age of splendor, doesn't it? The grand staircases and towering pillars are more than just architecture. They whisper stories of ambition and power. But we can't overlook the administrative genius that made it all possible. Darius and Xerxes didn't just build monuments. They perfected governance itself. They understood that a strong empire rests on order and efficiency, all while carefully crafting their own legacies for future generations to admire.
But was that governance truly benevolent? The very systems that upheld Persepolis were just as capable of enforcing control. The satraps had immense power, and that power could easily become tyrannical. You might see a well-oiled machine, but I see the potential for oppression lurking just beneath the surface, affecting lives in ways we often overlook. Think about the people who lived under that rule. Their stories are lost in the grand narrative, but they matter just as much.
That's a fair point. The balance of power is delicate, and we can't ignore that. Yet, one could argue that the very existence of such a grand empire necessitates a strong hand. Darius' vision established an unprecedented level of organization, creating systems that allowed for efficient governance across vast territories. We often see that empires thrive by consolidating their resources and influence, adapting to the complexities of the world around them. It's a historical pattern that repeats itself.
But at what cost? The royal road connected vast territories, sure, but it also paved the way for swift oppression. Couriers didn't just deliver trade goods. They carried orders that crushed dissent. The very infrastructure you admire was a tool for controlling diverse peoples, not merely for promoting unity. We have to remember that connectivity can often lead to dominance. We should think about the voices silenced along those routes, the lives affected by this so-called progress.
A valid concern, Malik. The royal roads certainly enhanced trade and communication across vast distances. Just look at the coins minted in Sardis and Babylon. They tell a story of a thriving economy. But they also represent a shared identity that transcended local boundaries, connecting diverse peoples. This exchange of wealth and ideas was revolutionary. Sure, it came with strings attached, but that's the nature of progress. We can't ignore how these connections shaped our history.
Revolutionary, yes, but it had its drawbacks. Skilled people from all over came together and shaped the empire's vibrant culture. Still, many found themselves caught in an oppressive hierarchy. Take those artisans and scribes you admire. They created incredible works, but they often did so under strict regulations. Their creativity could shine, but it was always within boundaries that stifled their true potential. It's a reminder that progress often comes at a cost to individual freedom.
The social order was undeniably complex. The nobility and royal kin held vast estates, and it was they who shaped both policies and culture. But let's not overlook the fact that this structure also permitted some degree of social mobility. A few skilled artisans managed to rise through their own merit, carving out rare opportunities in a world where such chances were scarce. Yes, there are always layers to uncover in any civilization's narrative, each telling a different story.
Those layers can hide the truth in plain sight. Sure, Nowruz celebrations brought people together, but they also masked the simmering tensions beneath. The empire's grandeur painted a pretty picture, Yet it distracted us from the real dissatisfaction bubbling up in its provinces. People celebrated, but how long can joy last when the ground beneath them feels unsteady? It's the everyday lives of families that bear the brunt of this disconnect, and that's where the real story lies.
You're right. Beneath the brilliance, shadows gather. The Persian Wars laid bare the empire's vulnerabilities. Salamis wasn't just a defeat. It sent a clear message. Even the mightiest can stumble. When we stretch so far across diverse lands, challenges become inevitable. We spread our influence, but we also invite discord. History shows us that every grand ambition carries risks. We should remember that while we build, we must also be wary of the cracks that can form beneath the surface.
And those challenges will only grow, my friends. As the shadows deepen around us, the golden age of Persia risks becoming nothing more than a mirage. Sure, the beauty of Persepolis and the wealth of its bustling markets are impressive, but they can't erase the discontent that's simmering beneath the surface. Everyday people, from merchants to farmers, are feeling the strain. The story of this empire is far from over, and its outcome hangs in the balance.
Yes, Malik. The grandeur of this empire is both a triumph and a warning. With ambition comes the risk of overreach. As we look at the Achaemenid Empire, we see it standing at a crossroads. Its future is uncertain, teetering on the edge of great promise and potential downfall. History teaches us that the brightest flames can cast the darkest shadows. We must remember that every grand achievement carries the weight of its own hubris, and that's where the danger often lies.
That's where we leave it this time. Achaemenid Persian Empire continues. The story isn't finished yet. Find the full series on the Civilization Archive, part of the Archive Network. We'll be back with the next chapter.